Throughout modern history, governments have sought to influence political outcomes beyond their own borders. The United States, like other major powers, has at times supported or opposed governments overseas through diplomacy, economic pressure, covert intelligence operations, military intervention, or support for local allies. Supporters of these actions have argued they were necessary to contain rival powers, protect national security, or respond to humanitarian crises. Critics have argued that some interventions undermined sovereignty, contributed to instability, or had long-lasting unintended consequences. This documentary examines well-documented historical cases in which the United States has been involved in efforts to influence or change governments abroad. Rather than taking sides, we will explore the historical context, the methods used, and the debates surrounding these events. Regime change refers to the replacement of one government or political leadership with another. It can occur through domestic elections, revolutions, coups, foreign military intervention, or other forms of external influence. Forms of foreign involvement can include diplomatic pressure, economic sanctions, covert intelligence support, military intervention, support for opposition groups, recognition or non-recognition of governments. During the Cold War, both the United States and the Soviet Union frequently sought to influence political developments around the world as part of their broader strategic competition. One of the most studied examples is Iran in 1953. Prime Minister Mohammad Mossadegh had nationalized Iran's oil industry, which had previously been dominated by British interests. Concerned about Cold War dynamics and the potential strategic implications, the United States and the United Kingdom supported a covert operation that contributed to Mossadegh's removal from office. The Shah, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, consolidated power after the events of 1953. Historians continue to debate the long-term consequences, including how the episode affected Iranian views of the United States and contributed to later political developments, including the 1979 Iranian Revolution. In Guatemala, President Jacobo Arbenz pursued land reforms that affected large landowners, including the U.S.-based United Fruit Company. The U.S. government also viewed his administration through the lens of Cold War concerns about communist influence. A CIA-backed operation supported opposition forces, and Arbenz resigned. The decades that followed saw prolonged political instability and civil conflict in Guatemala, with significant human costs documented by later investigations. Following independence from Belgium, the Congo entered a period of political turmoil. Prime Minister Patrice Lumumba sought international assistance as competing factions struggled for power. Historical records indicate that U.S. officials viewed Lumumba as potentially aligning too closely with the Soviet Union. Lumumba was eventually arrested and killed by Congolese rivals. Historians continue to examine the extent and nature of foreign involvement during this period. The crisis shaped Central African politics for decades. In 1970, Salvador Allende became Chile's president through democratic elections. His government pursued socialist economic reforms. Declassified U.S. documents show that the Nixon administration sought to prevent or limit Allende's consolidation of power through economic pressure and support for opposition activities. On September 11, 1973, the Chilean military, led by Augusto Pinochet, overthrew Allende. Pinochet's government remained in power for years and was associated with widespread human rights abuses documented by later truth commissions and international organizations. During the 1980s, Central America became another major arena of Cold War competition. The United States supported the Contra rebels fighting Nicaragua's Sandinista government. This period also included the Iran-Contra affair, in which U.S. officials secretly facilitated arms sales to Iran and diverted proceeds to support the Contras, despite restrictions imposed by Congress. Congressional investigations later examined the affair in detail. In December 1989, the United States launched Operation Just Cause in Panama. The stated objectives included protecting U.S. citizens, safeguarding the Panama Canal treaties, and arresting Panamanian leader Manuel Noriega, who had been indicted in the United States on drug trafficking charges. Noriega was captured and taken to the United States to stand trial. The intervention remains the subject of debate regarding international law, civilian casualties, and the appropriate use of military force. The 2003 invasion of Iraq marked another major turning point. The United States and coalition partners argued that Iraq possessed weapons of mass destruction and that removing Saddam Hussein would improve regional security. No stockpiles of active weapons of mass destruction were found after the invasion. Saddam Hussein's government was overthrown, but Iraq experienced years of insurgency, sectarian violence, and political instability. Analysts continue to debate the strategic consequences of the intervention. In 2011, during the Arab Spring, protests against Muammar Gaddafi escalated into armed conflict. The United Nations authorized measures to protect civilians, and a NATO-led coalition, in which the United States participated, conducted air operations. Gaddafi was later captured and killed by opposition fighters. While supporters argued that intervention helped prevent attacks on civilians, critics contend that Libya's subsequent instability illustrates the challenges of post-conflict reconstruction. The history of U.S. involvement in regime change is complex and remains the subject of extensive scholarly debate. Some interventions were conducted covertly, others openly. Some were justified by U.S. leaders as necessary responses to Cold War rivalry, terrorism, regional security concerns, or humanitarian crises. Critics have argued that certain actions violated national sovereignty or contributed to long-term instability. Understanding these events requires examining multiple perspectives, historical evidence, declassified documents where available, and the experiences of the people affected. These cases also illustrate a broader reality of international relations. Major powers, including the United States, the former Soviet Union, Russia, and others, have at different times sought to influence political outcomes beyond their borders in pursuit of strategic interests. Studying this history can help us better understand contemporary international politics, the challenges of foreign intervention, and the lasting consequences that such decisions may have for nations and their citizens. Thank you for watching. If you found this documentary informative, consider subscribing for more balanced, evidence-based explorations of world history, international relations, and major geopolitical events. Share your thoughts respectfully in the comments, and let us know what historical topic you'd like to see covered next.